Okay, we're gonna get right into part 5. Let's go. All right, so far we've been seeing a lot of things up here today, right? But we're gonna keep rolling. I can keep showing you guys what is really happening to you. Now, this is what the Most High says. He says, "But it shall come to pass if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of Yahuwah thy Elohim, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I, because they was given to Moses, and Moses gave them to us, command thee this day, that all these curses shall be upon thee and overtake thee. Right? And I will bring a sword upon you that shall avenge the core of my covenant. And when you are gathered together within your cities, I will send a pestilence among you, and you shall be delivered into the hand of the enemy." So all these things we see they're still here. They've been here and they already are here. And they're not going anywhere until we learn how to be obedient. And we're going to show you what the key to all this is. All right, because Christianity is not going to teach you this. Islam is definitely not going to teach you this. They're going to give you a false prophet named Muhammad. You know what I'm saying? And what did he prophesy? You can't go through the Quran. You won't find one thing that he told you is going to happen in the future, because he can't. Because basically he's really the moon god, right? So this quarrel of my covenant, it's an argument because, again, our people are those that are under the covenant. It's others too, but our people are definitely got every sign that you can think of. All of these curses is all over because it's a quarrel. What is that? What does that mean? It's H number 7379, and we're using the Strong's Concordance. You definitely got to get you one of them. And then, like I say, it's other videos, other people that's doing this truth, or you can stay up here and ride with me. And I'm going to show you everything. But again, please do not listen to no aunties, no uncles. That Christian stuff, stay away from it. It's poison. You might as well be out there doing what you're doing, having a good time. Hosea 4:1, hear the word of Yahuwah, you children of Israel, for Yahuwah has a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth, there's no covenant, nor mercy, because there is no mercy. Everybody's out here doing what they want to do, taking advantage of each other and killing each other, stealing from each other, nor knowledge of the Elohim in the land. So he has a quarrel, he has strife. Right? A case at the law. He's taking you to court. It's a lawsuit is what he's basically saying, because you violated him. Now, Isaiah 24:5, the earth is also polluted by its inhabitants, for they transgress laws, change statutes, broke the everlasting covenant. And it's all our fault as Israel. How can I say this? Because we were supposed to be teaching them everything. Right now, no matter what you wear, no matter how you walk, no matter how you talk, whatever you do, the world copies you. And it's easy to see. You can't cut on a commercial right now without a rap coming on. They rapping in the commercial, or they got their hat to the back. When I went to Florida, I seen so many white guys with hats to the back and they pants sagging. I couldn't believe it. And this was years ago. I went on a fishing trip. So I'm just saying, they banging the loud music in the car and all these types of things. So this is where it comes from. It comes from you. But we were supposed to be teaching the people how to be priests of the Most High Elohim, right? And this is the man that did a lot of damage, these popes. Because really, when a person say they're a Christian, they really a Catholic, because if you did the research or you just did a comparison, they'd almost do exactly the same. It's a couple of things that they don't do, but it's basically the same thing. And so this man, he shall speak great words against the Most High, which he does, because he's telling you that there is no Sabbath day. Sunday is our Sabbath day. We eat whatever we want. We don't believe in that Old Testament. We don't believe in, in other words, we believe what Paul says. Paul's writings is, Paul is our God, not Yahuwah. See, high and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and that's coming, because he's gonna start killing those that believe this way, right? And then to change times and laws, which he did, because what I just mentioned, that's what he did, and that's what the Christians go with. They don't believe nothing But what Paul says, and they don't even have Paul's writings, right? Because they misunderstand him. And they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and divided at times. And this is going to happen. This is coming in the future. So, I mean, either one way about it, either you're going to be marked up. In other words, you're going to be marked up with the mark of the beast, which I don't know, some of y'all know about this and some of y'all don't. Or you know what I mean? He's going to get you the same way anyway, because you're not keeping no commandments. You're not doing anything about the covenant, which is both of them are going to get you killed the second death. Now, Ethiopian Bible is the oldest and complete Bible on earth, written in Ge'ez, an ancient dead language of Ethiopia in the early 800 years older than it's nearly 800 years older than the King James Version, and contains 81 to 88 books compared to 66. Because you see, with Christians, they only read 66 books, but it's a fact that there's other books that's in here that was put in with the writings, right? It includes the book of Enoch, Esdras, Baruch, and all 3 books of Maccabees, and a host of others that was excommunicated from the King James Version. By who? By these people. So this is why I tell you to stay away from Christianity, because it's just falsehood, man. It's meant to kill you. And Esau is the creator of it. And Esau pushes it. Esau is the one that pays these big time pastors to lie and cheat and do all the things that they do. But one thing about it, if they want to keep that mansion, they want to keep that G-15 or whatever kind of plane they be begging the people for, they got to keep telling these lies. And this is why I deal with young folks, because some of these older folks, it's impossible to get to them. They just so stuck on this stuff. Through researching where the ancestors of West African slaves come from. Now, this is Joseph William, a quote out of Hebrewisms of West Africa. This is a good book, especially for those that like to read. Please get this book and study it. I found that many of the tribes share an oral history passed down and even have copies of the Torah, which is what? The Bible, or Hebrew Bible that they state they brought from Israel. Some dispute this, and it is quite possible that some Africans did move to Israel and then back to Africa. Other tribes, as they are claiming, could have always been in Africa from the beginning, right? I don't know about you, but when I think of Black people and who they descend from, I think of Ham. This is an opinion that has been slowly fed to the population over years, because I know 45 years ago when I was into the Christian church, the lady Marilyn Hickey was talking about Ham is cursed and all these type of things. And I believe that until later on, y'all showed me, open my eyes. This is an opinion that has been slowly fed to the population over years. We descend from Ham, and Ham was cursed. However, there are some of the opinion that this was fabricated to justify slavery. The entire nation of Ham was not cursed, and only the Bible figured Canaan was technically cursed. And if you actually check the Bible, you will see the error in this conception. So it's because this is a Christian conception. This comes from Christianity, which was formed by Esau. Now, this is what Isaiah chapter 5, what more could I have been done for my vineyard? This is what Yahweh is saying. What more could I have done for these people? You know what I mean? What more could I have done? But they still won't turn back to me. And this is all he wants us to do, is turn back to him. And there's some young brothers out here doing some great stuff, some great work. By the end of this, I'm gonna try to put their link up here for you, or at least give you their name so you can go check them out. Now, 2 Kings 17 and 15, Nehemiah 9:34. And they rejected his statutes and his covenant that he made with their fathers, and his testimonies, which he testified against them, right? Or to them. And they followed vanity and became vain, and went after the heathen that were round about them, concerning whom Yahuwah had charged them that they should not do like them. And that's one of our biggest problems. We want to be like everybody else. We want to live like everybody else, but it's not meant for us. But you keep Hasatan's commandments. You do every day and don't even know it. By living like you living foul, out here running wild, this is what you're basically doing. Cursed shall thou be in the city, cursed shall thou be in the field. Yahuwah shall send upon thee great cursing and vexation and rebuke, and all that thou settest thy hand unto for to do. until thou be destroyed and until thou perish quickly. We see this every night because of the wickedness of thy doings, whereby thou hast forsaken me. And so, I mean, it's it's getting to be dire straits out here, right? I just watched this. Some kids just rolled up. Now these are teenagers. I mean, it's unbelievable. Just roll up on the neighborhood because they thought somebody lived there and just shot up 2 or 3 houses. You know, I mean, and it's, I mean, they don't, there's no regard of even kids being in the house, no regards of anybody's life. We gave the nations power over us through disobedience, and this is why the police gonna keep killing you. This is why all these other calamities gonna keep happening into your life. It has nothing to do with karma. I hear people, it's karma. It ain't got nothing to do with karma. It is an actual Elohim, an actual God. His name is Yahuwah that's doing this to you because you belong to him and don't even know it. And it's not your fault because you haven't been taught right. You haven't been taught by grandma because her mind is gone. You know what I mean? She all up, who knows what she's into, first of all. Then second of all, if anything, her pastor controls her life. You know, and it's no talking to these people. You understand? You can show them fact after fact, but what it basically really is, they don't want to give up the lifestyle that they're living, so they hang on to these lies. Because we're serving Yahuwah, it takes some work. Curse shall I be, that shall I basket and not store. So it's, I mean, this is why a lot of y'all out here trying to get money, trying to make sure that you're getting paper and all these type of things. Because you see this around you every day when you go home in your neighborhoods. You see the man trying to play he can't even get no bongos or nothing. He got to go ahead and get a couple of coffee cans. So you try to get some change, right? Then you got the people that just, you know, the old drunks and crackheads, they just gone. Their mind is gone. The reality ain't even there no more, you know, because most of y'all selling it to them anyway. And then you look at this brother here, he just done gave up. His mind probably gone. He eating out the garbage can. See, but Yahuwah can bring every one of these people back from this state. I've seen it, and I know it. Right now, what's wrong with these youngsters? A lot of people say, "What's wrong with these young people? They out of control." Man, them young boys, they ain't playing out there, man. They shooting up everything. Man, them young boys, they stealing cars. They committing crime. They doing this. They doing that. So what's wrong with these youngsters? Well, part of the problem is bad parenting. Because number one, you got grown men that's playing they're playing little kids games, you know, more than the kids is playing. That's their whole life. They go to work, if they do go to work, because most of the time you find them smoking blunts, sitting on the couch with their buddies, and then they playing games all day. Woman somewhere going out working hard, or grandma or mom or somebody. You know, then I mean, here, I mean, look at this. This kid, I mean, what kind of chances can he have in this world? And this is his father. What kind of chances? Or the bickering and arguing because there is really no communication between the parents, because all they did, they met each other at one of these clubs and she looked good, I look good, they done lay it down, didn't even really know each other. Now they got this kid, and then now they realize that they can't get along, they really don't like each other, so the kid suffers, you know, or they just abusive parents, period. You know, and then this kid grows up with abusive attitude. And if you do the statistics on that, a lot of these kids always end up in prison or killing somebody or just wow. Then you have just really children, but Esau told you can't beat them. You can't put your hands on them. So now you just got to deal. The kids are stressing you out, just doing what they want, say what they want. You know, you know you can't put your hands on them because DFAC's gonna take them from you because you do love it. That's your seed, you see. And then I mean, all the other things that go along with these children, you know, I mean, it's just sad. So what do you expect from them? I understand, I get it. What do you expect from them? And I know growing up, everybody that had a decent 2-parent home, I mean, you know, 9 times out of 10, they turned out to be all right. But ones that didn't, had a single parent, or father was always abusive, or something crazy going on, or they selling weed out the house, or drinking parties all the time, kid always turned out to be screwed up. And I just went back to New York last week, and I was running into people I went to high school with, and for the ones that's still alive, and they was tore to pieces. Didn't do anything with their life. Stayed in the same place the whole time. Nothing. Didn't do anything with their life. Never saw anything. Most of them just stayed on drugs, partying in that partying mode. Because some people can come out of it, but a lot of people stay in it for their whole life. And that's the plan of Esau and Hasatan. Right? This is the other problem. This TikToks and Facebooks and Instagrams and all these things. This is what Satan uses to control your mind. It's like, I've seen it. You know, I've even had to work with, I'll be watching people, we'd be at work, they just steady looking at, they can't put the phone down. The phone got their mind, the phone is controlling them to the point where if somebody said, look, man, you're supposed to be working. Look, man, then they want to argue, right? Why? Because they go right back to this state right here. See, because without having discipline, without being able to be disciplined, they throw tantrums. So that's the first thing that they do when you tell them they can't be on the phone at work or something don't go their way. Except now they throw a tantrum and they instead of arguing, they just go ahead and shoot. That's how they throw a tantrum. So social media seems harmless, but it does a lot of damage to people's mental health. And this is why we have so many people running around here now with mental health problems, and they have no idea it's happening. All right. For starters, social media is very addictive. Some students spend over 5 hours a day on social media, which is bad for their mental and physical health. Everyone needs physical movement to stay healthy, but there is no time for that if a phone is always on hand. Some students will stay on their social media until they close their eyes to get a good night's sleep they have been waiting for all day, but they do not realize they will not get it because the light from their phone will keep them up for at least another 30 minutes. A writer for DiscoveryMood.com, Madeline Langham, said in a recent article, research suggests that increased screen time may be related to a decrease in both sleep quality and sleep duration. Our sleep is a key factor. Keeping minds healthy when it is disturbed from something like social media before bed, it can intensify mental health struggles. And this is why we see so much of this mental health being a problem. Because the parents didn't parent, they're not raising their kids, they're not sitting down with their kids, making sure that they're doing homework or they talking to them or they all eating at the table together. That's gone. Most of the time you might have a single mother, she trying to work 2 jobs because she keeps making the same stupid mistakes and got 4 or 5 kids and they still ain't got no man there. And then now, these young kids, they at the point they say, well, I got to get out here and I want stuff too. So you got the squeegee boys, you got the water boys, you got all these different things. And the parents don't even know where the kids is at. Because, even if they're not working 2 jobs, they might be out here just as wild as the kids are. As a people, we told to pieces. Now, let's listen to what this lady says about you. Because, this is another way Esau gets us with this journalism. And, a lot of us watch this news and all this, and I watch the news myself, but I understand what's going on. I'm looking for the prophecy that Yahoo will get through the prophets that's going to come. I don't believe nothing that these, I already know this news is fake. Donald Trump said that over and over. So let's see what she had to say about this.
Listen to this. Yeah. And the reason they don't care about these issues is because they are not struggling with these issues. American journalists are part of the elites. They are rich. They are not out there struggling to pay for gas. They are not living in crime-ridden cities. Those are their neighbors who they don't care about. Their neighbors who they don't care about, who they abandoned when they, stopped being working class and became part of the elites. And because the journalists don't suffer from this stuff, they don't cover it. And because they don't cover it, President Biden does nothing about it. Yes, that's not wrong.
Now, did you notice what this lady has around her neck? I'll show you that again. I can't say too much about it because the people that run these channels, they don't like when you tell the truth about it. So they'll get a little bit mad.
Yeah. And the reason they don't care about these issues is because they are not struggling with these issues. American journalists.
So please believe me, I know she knows what she's talking about. Then secondly, I'm gonna tell you like this. I was up in Asheville. I met a guy, we was talking about the media. His wife went to one of these pristine colleges, got this degree in journalism. When she got to actually get a good job with one of these big time TV stations, when she got ready to, in other words, basically what was happening to her was She thought she was going to be reporting on some good stuff, getting some good stories and all this. I mean, true journalism. But when she got there, she realized that they had a CIA operative that was in the office, sitting right there in the office, actually going through and editing, blacking out everything that she could say and everything that she could say. So, you know, that they're paid to, you know, again, we showed you that from the beginning, the pyramid, Esau's pyramid. They're paid to keep you with fake news. They're paid to push you in the wrong direction. And she couldn't do it. So she left that and went and got a degree in nursing. Man told me that out of his own mouth. So what I'm trying to say is, I mean, everything around us is fake. You know, in other words, they give us what they want us to see. So this is why it's another reason why you need Yahuwah. Now let's keep rolling. Now, with all these things going on, the mark of the beast will be an easy transformation. It won't be hard because all they got to do is get a rapper or get some type of entertainer to show you that he has his. And then for the older people, when they go to church, they pastor go tell them that he got his and they need to get theirs. It's going to be real easy, real easy. And by the time all these calamities get done happening and all this other stuff that's invented to destroy your mind comes along, most people ain't gonna even understand what's going on. And the other half ain't gonna even believe it, but it's gonna be real. Now let's look at these teens. They out of control, right? Because people are like, what's wrong with these teens? They out of control. But this is what happened. Yahoo was behind this. Isaiah 51:20, thy sons have fainted. They lie at the head of all the streets, the corners, right? That's where you find them, at the stores, on the corner, as a wild bull in their net. They're angry. They always fighting. There's always some drama going on. They are full of the fury of Yahuwah, the rebuke of the Elohim. So this is what they're full of his fury. He put this in them. He put this in them to cause calamity and chaos and terrorize you as well. It ain't just the police terrorizing you. These little jokers is terrorizing you. And you scared to death of them because you don't never know what they're going to do. And they ain't going to play with you. You see what I'm saying? It's just as simple as that. It's just as simple as that. I remember I went to a store one time. I go up here to the store, get some gas, go inside the store. This young girl got this little 5-year-old boy selling crack. So they raising him up like this. So by the time he gets to be 16, 17, he out of control. He has no regard for life. He don't even know nothing about Yahuwah because his mother definitely don't know nothing. And she can't believe in anything. Her whole goal is getting rich. Again, with the social media lifestyle, the social media brain mindset, which comes from Esau. It's just that simple, but they are full of the fury. This is why they like they are. They're full of the fury of Yahuwah. They don't know what's going on, but I'm trying to show you what scripture is saying. See? So then you got to deal with the black slave catchers, which is the black police. You back, according to we just read in the 13th or 14th amendment, you back at the level of a slave now because you're going to a slave camp. And then when we look at these, and he said that when we go back to Isaiah, he said that sons have fainted, thy sons have fainted. So faint in the Strong's Concordance is 85968, to be covered, disguised, or wrapped. So when they put you in that body bag, you disguised, you wrapped, you covered. But guess what? You dead. This is what it means. And we see this in every city all over the place. This is happening. And it's out of control. And ain't nobody got no answer for it. But the only answer is Yahuwah. Let us keep rolling. As they were increased, so they sinned against me. Therefore, I would change their glory into shame. So you hear people, we used to be great this, we used to be great that. Well, you're not no more. Because this is what you see. Your sons and your daughters acting like this, right? So sin means to miss the mark, right? That means you don't know, because you don't know nothing about his laws, his statutes, and his commandments, which is mishfats and hokim, and mishpatim, right? Mishfats and hokim. Glory, the glory is gone. The glory is in the shame, the abundance of riches, dignity. There ain't no dignity no more. Reverence. Don't nobody reverence you. They come to your neighborhood to suck it dry of whatever you need, because you can't even put nothing together. With all this money y'all supposed to be making and all popping bottles and all this type of stuff, you can't even put nothing together, a nice store in your community, so your people ain't got to go nowhere else and keep getting robbed. See? and shame, embarrassment, and disgrace. Old folks is just, boy, pull up your pants because they're embarrassed. But you full of the fear of Yahoo, so you don't even care. You ain't even worried about that. They old people as far as you're concerned, but it's a shameful thing. Now, as we see, this has been going on since we were brought here and taken from here, because we've been brought here from some places, because Yahweh said he's going to scatter us to the four corners of the earth. And you can't just blame white people. Yes, you do have enemies, right? Because some of them are enemies. There's no doubt about that. But you seem to love them more than you love yourself. Let's look at this and show and prove. The Asians said what they did. They sell you wigs and fake jewelry and do your nails. You can't even open up your own nail shop. And if you do, your people ain't coming to it. They also sell you unclean seafood, right? All kind of crabs, shrimps, and they got a fish that in Baltimore, they call them, but it's really unclean fish. I can't remember what it is, but they love it up there. It's not perch, it's another name. It'll come to me. But do they love, but the same people that come in your neighborhood and you go buy stuff from them every day, do they like you? No, they follow you around the store. They watching you all the time because they think you're stealing. When young girls come in there, they see that they thirsty for money. Next thing you know, she dealing with him for money. And then they laughing about it. But you know, they won't, you can't say nothing to one of their women, right? Do they cry for you and have pity for you? No. The Mexicans cut your grass, fix your houses. How about them, right? The Arabs know exactly who you are, right? And they sell you gas, outdated candy and sodas to your kids, outdated beer and blunts and condoms. You don't see them using these things, but they give them to you, keeping you blind and full of iniquity because he remembers what you did to his mother Hagar. And that hatred with them Arabs, that goes all the way back to Hagar, Abraham. But see, you don't know about these things because social media got your mind, see? And so Yahuwah said you're going to have confusion of faces because of these things. And you see this, all this crying, my son was a good boy, he was this, he was that. Yeah, you got a lot of cases where your son was a good boy, but you got more cases where these kids out here was straight up devils, doing all kind of stuff, terrorizing the community, and then Yahuwah sends a spirit to go ahead and kill this kid. And then now you just, and I mean, and for me, I feel like it's more guilt than anything, because you knew you should have been a better parent. You knew you should have known where your kid was at. He's 16 years old out at night stealing cars, and you ain't got an idea where he at. Because you high, or you laying up with some man or running the streets or somewhere yourself. So you just released a young beast onto the community. Unbelievable. Why is your neighborhood flooded with cops? See, that's the other thing. Flooded with them. Flooded with them. You can go other places, you might see a cop here and there. Come to where we at, man, you see 3, 4 all the time. They pulling up, they rolling around, they sitting there looking. I mean, you know, this is what's happening because you refuse to turn back to these commandments. That's all I can really say. See, robbed physically and spiritually. A nation fierce countenance which shall not regard the person of the old nor show favor to the young, because it's Esau. He hates you. And I mean, and a lot of us have been hypnotized to think that a lot of these slave masters were just some white guys. No, they might have been the overseer, but Esau always has had the money. Esau has always had the money. So that's who was really the plantation owner, was him, making money off your back, right? So this has to be understood. So right there, we're gonna stop right here, and then we're gonna come back. I'm just trying to get you to see what's really going on. And we're trying to show you the truth about this Bible and why you need it. But the thing is, you don't need the Christianity part, because that ain't gonna do nothing but screw you up. and either you might come up out of it, or I can guarantee it's going to take you at least 10 years to come out of it. Because whether it's Jehovah's Witness, whether it's a Pentecostal, whatever, they're going to talk to you about don't listen to nobody else, because they're going to show you if they come with any other doctrine but this one, don't believe them. You know, all that. Jehovah's Witness just going to keep you totally, and you can't even read or listen to nobody else's literature. They make that plain if you want to get in the kingdom. So it's once a person gets into that, it's almost impossible to get them out of it. You know what I mean? So these things are set up to destroy you. We trying to give you the truth in the Bible. We trying to give you the true name of the Father and his Son. We trying to tell you that he has commandments that you have to keep, because he has a way for you to come up out of this. but you got to do it the way he says, not like some other man said, right? So we're going to stop right here, and then we're going to come back. Shalom.